Yes. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Yes. So we start the manana on Dhyana yoga of the Gita. So Tara madam will recite first and then she's going to give us her understanding. We have Kamala as well. Kamala is not here today. So we'll have to do with, yeah. Oh my God. I'm not my best today. I'm taking the last loka and sitting. Wonder what's happening. Yes, sorry. Yes, Tara, go ahead.
षष्ठोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच अनाश्रितः कर्मफलं कार्यं कर्म करोति यः स सन्न्यासी च योगी च न निरग्निर्न चात्रियः. The Supreme Lord says those who perform their prescribed duties without desiring any fruit of the action is a true sannyasi or a yogi, not the one who ceased to perform Agnihotri and abandoned all the bodily activities. One should not have any attachment to the rewards. The persons who perform karma yoga do all the activities with a sense of humble service to the God. Humble service to God without any desire whatsoever for rewards. Even though they are...
Yes, Tara.
They are two sannyasis and yogis. As Krishna has said in chapter 2, Karmanye vadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. To reach such a state of mind, one has to do lot of service, lot of sadhana. That's all.
Yes, fine. So, any little thing else from your perspective, nim experience in the enadru idr ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ?
Experience in the I live in a joint family and I always have a feeling, oh, I do so many things to all, nobody reciprocates and all. But I don't know, it's a coincidence. This para has come to me.
ಮತ್ತೆ this is very important for us Gruhasthas, no?
It is a mere coincidence anta.
Mere coincidence alla, it's a fantastic it's a destiny, nothing is it says no, God does not play dice anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ.
I don't know. Jayashree said I joined this group and I don't know. From morning I'm feeling, why did I get this verse anta?
God does not play dice ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಮಾಷೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ದೇವ್ರು, ನಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ.
ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, I do so much for others, they don't have a soft corner for me. I don't know.
My perception. Most of us Gruhinis will have that feeling. Most of us will have that.
Krishna has answered you, Tara.
Yeah, Krishna has answered us. Yeah, right. So
why did I get this verse anta
nodidra? Illa just from this verse you will be liberated.
Maybe.
Yeah. Just we understand this verse and we are done. Actually it is said that Shravana Matrena Mukti anta. ಒಂದನ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮುಕ್ತಿ ಅಂತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು 1000 ಸತಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತಿದೀವಿ, ನೋಡೋಣ.
Thank you Purnima ji and Jayashree.
Okay.
No, Tara, see, all along we do so much and nobody respects and responds. but there is somebody who is watching you, somebody who's really appreciating you,
Correct.
and we are not aware of it. So
And-
this is God's way of saying, don't worry, you do like this, don't worry. I
Mm,
will give you what you need, when you need, how you need. I will take care of you.
that's it.
You
Yeah.
are a taken care of child. They are not responding. It is their responsibility. They are ungrateful. They will be, given whatever they need. But you are going to be blessed. Please
Yeah.
understand.
Krishna is watching. Bas, ho gaya. And so where Kamala has also, shared her understanding. She says, I am not completely out of result-oriented actions. Very honestly, she is saying. However, I am not bothered about the result, even if it fails. Also, performing with a sense that this is an opportunity given by God for some greater purpose, and I am not the real doer. That understanding has come to her after the Bhagavad Gita. I tell Krishnarpanamastu every time. Still, I have the Dvaita concept, Purnimaji, she's saying. It's fine. It's good that we are in the Dvaita concept we have, because we have something to look up to and someone to surrender to and someone to say Krishnarpanamastu. If we didn't have Dvaita Bhava, we'd be lost. What do you say? Isn't it?
Beautiful.
All right. Then who is the next person, please? Okay, let me only see. Yaru next to. Okay, Sumati and Deepa, both are not there. Now, Sumati has sent me her this thing. I will play Sumati's. Sumati has not come. Oh, she has sent one big document. Oh, no, it's an audio recording. Okay, let us chant the shloka. Is this the right shloka, please? Yes, 6.3. Okay, somebody please chant it, no?
Yeah, I can chant.
Yes, Suma, carry on.
Yeah. Arurukshor munir yogam karma karanamuchyate yoga rudasya tasyaiva shamak karanamuchyate
Yoga rudhastas
yoga rudasya tasyaiva shamak karanamuchyate.
Very good. And what the Sumati has to say about it, I'm playing it for us.
Verse 6.3. For a Muni or sage who wishes to attain to yoga, action is said to be the means. For the same sage who has attained to yoga, inaction or quiescence is said to be the means. What this verse means to me is that for me, who is in Grahastha who is trying to understand my true self, I'm in that process. And I do have attachments to my body, my relations with people, and also I have the minus and I-ness thoughts. For me, the path prescribed by Bhagavan is doing action as a yoga, that is karma yoga. So Swamiji Nikhilanandaji says the karma yoga has 5 aspects to it. One is samatva buddhi. Then second is swadharma buddhi. Third is samarpana buddhi. Fourth is asanga buddhi. And fifth is prasada buddhi. So in samatva buddhi, I have to perform my actions with equanimity. So, for example, I'm taking care of my child and the child is throwing a tantrum. I have seen myself in these different states. When I'm very angry that the child is throwing a tantrum, it's me and mine is what is predominant. So that's an egocentric. I want my child to behave because I want to do it my way. Behave, in general, I want my child to listen to me because I want it my way. But when it is, when I'm doing it in samatva, that is equanimity, I will see it from a higher perspective. So that time my responses is very different to the tantrum. I'm at a more vantage point and I am able to handle the situation better. In the case of Swadharma, I think this is very apt because in day-to-day life we see other people all the time and the mind automatically goes to compare. But when I'm doing my action as my ordained duty, not to please someone or not to be compared to someone, but because it has to be done and I'm giving it my best, that is Karma Yoga. Finally, the aspect of prasada buddhi. What comes, accept it and move on. Do not complain that why am I getting this? So all this to me is a practice that I have to do. Whereas for a person who has already passed all these attachments, he does not, one who does not attach to his own body or mind or the intellect as this is mine, but more attaches to that sakshi. Then for such a person, one has to give up those activities that one is used to doing. Slowly, the detachment has to come to the activity and they have to spend more time in silence. In day-to-day life also, sometimes we are in this situation. For example, there are younger people who are newly joined to the job. If I am used to doing something, I must find that vairagya in me to teach others and to let go of tasks that I have always been doing. It is difficult because the attachment is sometimes so strong to that task, and it's also an easy task. I don't have to think. But I have to develop the vairagya to let it go. Only then I'm able to go to the higher realms. Thank you.
Superb clarity. What do you say?
Wow.
Superb. What clarity, man. So well she has put it. How this applies now. We might dismiss this shloka as for one who is already come to that second stage, but she has given us the complete picture. Wonderful. Very happy. Right. Next, 6.5 is
Please share the recording in the group.
yeah, I will do that. Surely I will do that. Yes. 6.5, Pragati and Indra. Pragati, are you there?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Let me read the shloka.
Yes.
Uddharet atmana atmanam na atmanam avasadayet. Atmaiva atmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha.
Yes.
So, briefly, the transliteration of this is like Atma is oneself. Either we could say it is the mind or like just the combination of the ego, buddhi, everything as like one person. So we ourselves are responsible to elevate ourselves to a better state, and we ourselves are responsible for our downfall. And in the same way, we are our own friends and we are our own enemy.
Right.
So it all depends on how we think and react to our situation and circumstances, and what we do with our the knowledge we have acquired. Are we using it, transforming it into wisdom to elevate ourselves, or are we not able to use it appropriately, causing our own downfall? So thereby, if we use our knowledge and become wise to elevate ourselves, we are our own friends.
Yeah.
And if we are unable to do that and we are responsible for our own downfall, then we are our own enemies. So I think, one small story from Bhagavatam, Ajamilya story.
Ajamila.
So,
Yeah.
Ajamila. So he is born a Brahmin to a very great Brahmin parents, learned Vedic scholars. As a child, they bring him up in a very traditional way. They teach him the Vedas, they make him a good scholar, they teach him all the good things that he's supposed to follow. Then he becomes a perfect Brahmin, like a learned person with a lot of knowledge, doing all the right things, doing Sandhya Vandanam, like doing everything perfectly. Till one day when he falls for a prostitute, and then he completely stops practicing whatever he has learned. So the knowledge he acquired now is not, he's not using it. So the wisdom to use the knowledge that he has lost.
Yes.
So he is responsible for his own downfall,
Right.
and he commits a lot of sins after that onward. So he goes down to like a very nadir point. So I think uh, any person, guru or everybody else around us, they can only show us the way or teach us or guide us. But ultimately, it is ourselves if we follow the right thing the all the time to help us or not.
Yes.
So that's all I have to say on that.
And
Thank you.
Ajamila used, again, he used the same mind to again elevate himself, right?
Right. So he
No,
names
no,
his last child Narayana.
Yes.
no. It was not as easy as that.
Okay.
It was not as easy as that. He had gone to the Nadi.
He had
He
got.
had totally, disconnected himself from there.
Right. Right.
This lady had, some exposure. Some sage came, and this lady decided to name the last child Narayana. But he was very fond of the last child. So he all the time called Narayana, 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 Narayana. So God came to him for, this, as that day Ramamani said, no, அப்போதைக்கு இப்போதே சொல்லி வைத்தேன். When I am in my deathbed, I don't know whether I'll be conscious, whether I'll be, okay or not. But I'm telling you now, it is your duty to come and save me. So Narayana himself comes to save his devotee.
Beautiful.
In the form of a name. And then what happens? He is in his deathbed. He was not calling God at all. He was calling his last child dearly. He was afraid of dying. And immediately he was just alarifying, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. And as he died, the Yamadutas came. And Narayana's people also came. They said, don't touch the body. This is Narayana. He has called at his last moment Narayana. So he is ours. Don't touch him. What does it mean? The Lord himself came to save his devotee.
Yes. Very nice. So it is said the name of God and the form of God and the essence of God are not different from one another. That is the Shakti of Japa, Nama, Nama, Rupa. That is the Shakti. That's the power of Nama and Rupa. Yes. Indra, you next. Same. Yeah.
I've noted down Swami Chinmayananda's speech about this particular sloka.
All right.
Here he says, you lift yourself by yourself, having lifted a little into the higher values of life, don't again drop down to the old level.
Yes. Very correct.
Preciously maintain the improvement you're getting. Like in this journey, in the spiritual journey, you yourself is your own friend. relation and the well-wisher, and you yourself is your own soul enemy who will pull you down.
Yep.
How one can be one's own friend? One who has conquered himself by himself, an individual who has integrated the mind and intellect, who has conquered the mind by intellect, is in such an individual, your mind is an greatest friend in this path. Because of vasanas, the mind and intellect get disintegrated. When you are living prompted by desires all the time, that mind is an enemy number one of your intellectual, spiritual path. Intellectually, you want to live a spiritual path, but you will not be allowed to take one step in the path because your mind is not integrated and your mind creates all the disturbances for yourself. This is how the mind is your own enemy. Mind, when taking towards the worldly things, is your own enemy. So how to lift ourselves? So how to raise ourselves means let us talk only about the noble things or higher things, not dwell about the worldly things or gossips. And this is lifting ourselves from the realm of senses to the realm of heart, mind, or intellectual, and finally to the self.
Yes, the
And
power of satsang. Yes, carry on.
power of satsang. And one more thing is to detach ourselves from the bad company of anger, desire, and greed. So we'll have to use our body, mind, intellect to lift ourselves, like by saying japa and satsang, shravana, manana, nididhyasa, and the meditation. The meditation mainly helps to bring us the vasanas which has been accumulated over many lifetimes. One more question is, if we do not take, that is, the effort has to be taken by the self only. Nobody else will help. Guru can show the path. Only we have to take this effort. Suppose if effort is not taken, what will happen? So all our vasanas will pop out without even our knowledge. So which is packed over many lifetimes, and we have to interrupt in that. Like we have to put a full stop, and that is the free will.
Right.
We'll have to put a full stop, saying when a desire pops up, it is not suddenly popping up. It is like it is bubbled from the subconscious thing. And when it pops up, we have to know the thing, and we have to replace it saying, I'll not do this, I'll do this.
Yes. Rewrite the old vasanas with the new ones, Vedanta vasana.
And
Atma vichara vasana. Yes.
Yeah, one more story from Mahabharata is that Arjuna and Duryodhana. Krishna could have told all this Gita teachings to Duryodhana also. But why to Arjuna? Because Arjuna wanted to know.
Yes.
And he told Duryodhana also, this is a wrong way. You give your little kingdom to those your brothers also. Stop all this. But Duryodhana knows what is wrong and right, and he did not want to listen. He says, I know this is wrong, but I don't want to do. There is something stopping me from inside. He didn't want to know anything. So he wants to do according to his vasanas, but Arjuna wanted to know everything. So that is what the teaching has been given to Arjuna.
Right. So you have to seek the knowledge and knock and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive, right? So again, Rahul has quoted a beautiful this thing from the Bible or whatever. To every man is given the key to the gates of heaven. The same key opens the gates of hell. So apt, so perfect. Uddharet atmanam atmanam na atmanam avasadhayet. Very beautifully explained in detail by both Pragati and Indra and Rahul. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Purnima.
Very nice. Okay.
Thank you.
So if we understand this, see everywhere, each and every shloka, one understanding and we are done. Yes, Nirmala, quickly you want to say something?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. What else can you say, right? Okay.
And all these shlokas are allotted to, somehow, as the first person said, to our circumstances that has been allotted.
Yes.
Because about the desires, one desire comes and when it is fulfilled, we'll think about the next one. This is done, I'll buy the other one. So 1 week that has been going on, and correctly I got the particular shloka.
Superb. God works in wonderful and miraculous ways. Janma karma cha me divyam, he says. My janma is divya and my karma, my actions are also divya. You will not understand. All right. So Rahul, yours. All yours.
Yes, sir. Yogi yunjita satatam Atmanam rahasi sthitah ekaki yeta chittatma nirashira parigraha. So, the explanation here is those who seek the state of yoga should reside in seclusion, constantly engaged in meditation with a controlled mind and body, getting rid of desires and possessions for enjoyment. I think, in my personal opinion, I agree with everything that the previous speakers mentioned.
Yes.
Related to the mind. And also ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ ತರ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ತರ ನನಗೂ I also 100% agree with this. Because in my personal opinion, I think this is one of the most highly misinterpreted shloka of Bhagavad Gita, in my opinion, because ಅರ್ಧಂಬರ್ಧ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋರು ಈ ತರ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಓದಿ ದೇಲ್ಸೆ ಹೇ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಓದ್ಬೇಡಪ್ಪ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ ನೀನು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೀನ್ 60 years ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ you read it after you are 60 or 70 or after your responsibility, family responsibilities are done. So I think that's the danger of misinterpreting shlokas like this.
True.
So the secluded place, go to a secluded place and one the single phrase there in that explanation. I think I mean, when we go back to Guruji's, Prabhuji's teachings, the moment we understand that everything we see outside is a projection of what's happening inside our mind only.
Yep.
Secluded place is not somewhere in Himalayas or some cave which is not accessible. Secluded place is again inside the mind itself. So we have to find a space where we are not giving any input to the materialistic mind. So like all the previous shlokas have mentioned that the mind is the friend also and the enemy also. So it's like one single photon entering the eye is enough to create 100 imaginations in the mind. So same way, one single sound wave is enough to, you know, ಒಂದು familiar sound ತರ ಕೇಳಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ತಲೆ ಅದ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಓ ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂತು. So to avoid any sort of sensory stimuli, Lord Krishna has told, get into a secluded space. So I don't know if we have to use the word secluded space instead of secluded place. So yeah, so that is my understanding, because I myself had my elders stopping me from reading Bhagavad Gita when I was in 4th or 5th standard, saying, "Idella muttaku hogbeda nino. You read it only after you are 60 years old." But I wish somebody had told them that this is in nowhere in the Bhagavad Gita they are saying leave your family and renounce everything and go away. So
oh, Bhagavad Gita is taught in the middle of the battlefield. Where will anyone run away?
Run away. Yeah. So that's my takeaway from this shloka.
Very beautiful, very beautiful.
Very
yeah.
The thing is, if you read when you are little younger, no, the older people say, "Shiyo, pinjile padikada." Then even when you are a baby, don't try to become a fruit. You know, that is the reaction they have, because they have not studied. They don't want you to, you know, outrun them. So they say don't read.
Absolutely.
But it's a double-edged sword also. I mean, straight away you can't give this, you know, to children when you are going to teach the Bhagavad Gita. Thoda sugar-coated, you have to do it. Otherwise, it's too much. You know, how will you explain such concepts to kids? So, you know, palatable little bites you give to them.
When a child, you learn to chant, you learn to read and all. And in time, by 30, you will be in a position to acquire the meaning of it.
Yes.
It will come. We are on a well-chartered flight.
Yep, absolutely.
You are sitting in a business class.
We have bought the ticket. And we have boarded the plane.
Yeah, when you are thirsty, you will get your juice. When you are hungry, you will get your lunch. When you want a snack, you will get it. So don't worry. You have to just enter it. The rest you will take care.
Yes, correct. Absolutely. Understood and agreed. So, because why I'm telling this about, you know, teaching the highest truth to kids is, it is very easily misunderstood, like Rahul just said. Because one of my friends whose child is in this circles, she told me, look, my daughter is saying, I want to do this. I told her not to do. Apparently, it was something which was not supposed, it was not appropriate for a child. But she said, but nanu nanembudu nanalla, I am not the body, so I will do it. So these are the dangers. Then I told the mother, you please tell her, you might not be the body, but you have a body. So you have to behave responsibly. You eat, you are hungry, you have a bath, you brush your teeth. So that means you have a body. So you have to be like, so it's very difficult to teach children the highest truths without the proper background. And one more, when you said about the space, the Rahasi Sthitaha, in the space. So Ramakrishna has said very appropriately, Paramahamsa, he said, there are three places, generally speaking, where you can sit and meditate. Vana, forest, when there is nobody around, the forest is a very peaceful place. Not all of us can go to most of us cannot go to a vana. And so, kona, a corner of your house, some corner of your house. Even if that is also not possible, mana, one more cone, mana. Mana means not the head, like you said, the heart. Yes, very beautiful and very, very thrilling sharing by everyone. So we go to the next because Shaila is not here. So we will go to
I just wanted to add one point to the sloka.
yes.
So Janaka Maharaju, so King Janaka, he was in the worldly things, but still he was a saint. So I think it might just mean like seclusion of the mind rather than seclusion of the body, putting your mind in isolation and let it not think and work too much.
Correct.
Then
Let's see if we can get the elephants.
Because the mind is accompanied by the body, the
Mhm.
body because the body has to be put away in a secluded place as well, I guess. For
Right.
us, right?
Right.
So that Janaka was an enlightened king. He was a Rajesh.
I want to tell you a quick story in connection with that. They were just sitting 1 kilometer away, and the guru was teaching, Janaka was learning, and three other Brahmins were learning.
Correct.
And a news came, flash news came, the palace is on fire.
Yep.
Immediately the three sannyasis were running. Janaka was sitting there. Why? Oh, my kaupina is there, my veshti is there, my shawl is there, it seems.
Yeah.
Are, the kingdom of Janaka is there. And he is calm, collected. He is not perturbed.
Amazing.
That shows what, that's why he was called a Videha Mukta.
Videha Mukta.
Yes, because he was not connected at all. So the Rama says in Chitrakuta, when he say when Sita says, "Oh, I'm so happy here with you, Rama," then he says, "Yeah, you're Vaidehi, no? You're that sort of a person's daughter, no? That is why you're saying." Another lady would be cursing him. अरे सारा crown सब छोड़ के आके यहाँ fast में क्या कर रहा है? मेरा भी जान खा रहा है तू.
Very correct. Very correct. So beautiful.
That is what it is.
Vaidehi. Yes. Let us all become Vaidehis. Not that we should go through trouble like poor Sita. But then, yeah, let us invoke her when we are in trouble. Yep.
It is not anything. Just go at your heart and be peaceful. Just watch your breath. Be a witness of your breath. That is all is required of you. You don't have to go to Vana. You don't have to go to a Kona. अरे तेरे body में जो है कोना है, हृदय, उसको जा. वहां जाके बैठ जा quietly. Sumaire. Just be quiet.
And
don't have to chant even. Just be. Just watch your breath. Finished. Game over.
Let us all remember that when it's required, and not like Karna, poor Karna, who forgot the Maha Mantras, when it was required. We are not Karnas. We are Arjunas, and we have Bhagwan himself giving us all.
Oh, that is not because of that.
Ah.
He told a lie to Parshurama, saying that
ठीक है. हाँ, we have, as if we are not sinners or what? We have also done hundreds of things.
no, he went and told a lie to Parshurama that I am a Brahmin, and he went and learnt.
हाँ बाबा,
And-
ठीक है. Yeah,
And
yeah.
no, Naire, though, so Parshurama, when he saw his, the
Yeah.
Shahan Shakti, the power of tolerating the blood just flowing, and
Correct,
he is
correct.
not even, so that what happens, he sees and he says, definitely you're not a Brahmin, you're a Kshatriya.
Correct.
And I curse you when you meet the mantra, it will not come for help. It was a
Correct.
curse.
Correct. That is what I'm saying. We are also not दूध से धुला हुआ नहीं है ना. हम लोग भी, we would have done hundreds of things. But fortunately for us, we are like Arjuna on the side of Dharma. We have asked Krishna, tell me how to behave. Karna didn't. So we are all blessed. Though we have come as sinners, now we are becoming punya, saints. Is that right?
दूध से धुला.
अभी दूध से धुल रहे हैं हम लोग. All right. So Sneha, are we ready with Sneha? Hello. Okay, Anu.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will read out.
Okay.
Yunjanam eva sadatam
Sadatmanam.
sadatmanam
Hmm.
yogi nitya man
Yogi niyata manasaha.
niyata manasaha
Hmm. Shantim
shantim nirvana
paramam.
parmanam mat
No, paramam.
parmam mat samstha adhigachati.
Samstham adhigachati. Okay, great.
Adhigachati.
Ah,
Basically, this is more, we have to keep our mind on a single minded, like always think about God. And we all have different thinking most of the time. Our mind gets diverted, thoughts, and like we keep wavering right from the beginning. And personally, for me, what being in Prabhuji's sessions and all, now we have learned how to be in that, bringing back our thoughts to our self and getting away from the permanent, not changing and unchanging, real and unreal, and knowing what it is. And at the same time, when we are keeping our thoughts in oneness in Krishna or on our self-awareness, continues to do in what we are thinking, is always we are attaining that in Atman, in Brahman.
Yeah.
And that's how in olden days, people, though they used to follow differently, but they used to always keep God's name, Rama, Krishna, and also that they can continuously keep calling the God's name and be in that thought process. So that's my understanding, and same goes with the shloka.
yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Adequate. Yes. Yes. And Sneha, are you ready to? Yeah.
Yes. I did some a very little study about this. So whatever I did, I will try to
Yes.
express.
Yes.
So what I understand with this shloka is that after after your body is completely ready to meditate, that is, you choose a secluded place and you sit in the right posture, and all that, right? So there are 3 levels in which the meditation should ideally happen. First is to fix your mind in space, that is called dharana. Then to fix your mind in time, that is called dhyana. Then the third is the next level would be samadhi, and the next deepest level would be the nirvikalpa samadhi. So at a person who has achieved the nirvikalpa samadhi has completely transcended his existence also. So this is what I have, he experiences some kind of a peace that not normal people experience, right? So personally I have not experienced it, Though, I mean, I'm yet to even go close to something like this. But I think I have seen, the high achievers, who have, who, in my opinion, have their the their goal itself is a meditation for them. They are so deep into working towards their goal. It could be in any field. So they are very different from normal people, and yeah, they are very happy. Their face itself has some kind of a radiance. They are elevated souls. Yeah, that this is it.
They have the glow of God on their faces, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
No,
Yes, they have
this is
experienced God.
the one sentence she said, no?
One ನಿಮಿಷ, Nirmala, 1 minute. Sneha, they have experienced God andre. How is it possible not to experience God? Whatever I'm seeing, touching, feeling, everything is God. It's impossible to miss him. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
but
Yeah.
I mean, normal people, that is not. It's not easy, no, to see everything as God.
No, no, no.
That
We are not normal now. We are all abnormal.
for
Yeah.
this 1 hour is on Saturdays 7 to 8 is when I that's when it at least, yeah, that's the way it should be. That 1 hour, that's
We
what
will
I
come
feel.
to chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga, and that is mind blowing. Then you
Mm.
think, oh my God, how did I miss him? He's everywhere.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. We will come there. Okay, Nirmala, go ahead.
One thing she said, when you are passionately doing something,
Mm.
you notice your involvement is so much more than the person who does something uninterestingly and distract does like that. For example, music. You might be say, for example, I'm very interested in music, but I'm not a good singer. So somebody is a good singer but not interested. But suppose a person is interested and is in a good singer, just see how involved they will be. You have to watch them. There is a glow in their face.
Because a
This
yoga,
is the
it's a union. The two things have come together. Mm.
it is the lowest level of God we are seeing. That is the lowest level. So once that person more and more elevates, just imagine how we'll be glowing like sun.
Yes.
So that is what it is. The say it is not necessary. It has to be music. It can be anything. It can be painting. It can be cooking. It can be gardening. It can be whatever you do, but you do it with so much interest. For example, a mother of 5. If I am a person who doesn't have a child, when I look at the mother of 5, my head reels. How is she going to tackle these 5 children? But just see, she does it with ease. So the person who is interested can, can somehow muster up much more energy.
True.
And the way they do things itself will be much different. For example, I love to cook. So for me, if somebody comes and says, tomorrow 100 people are going to come to your house to eat, another lady would faint. I'll say, oh, really? 100 people are going to come? Oh, very nice. I'll start planning my menu, what all things I have to buy, all that. So the attitude itself is different. Instead of fainting, I'm into action and I'm planning and I'm excited.
Yeah.
So when you're interested, it's a different ballgame.
Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Doing your karma with kushalata, with skill. And that skill also involves the mental preparation, like how Gita is telling us, with samarpana bhava, with yagna bhava. That is also the kushalata that is required. Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Whatever work you are doing, if you are doing with that kushalata, that is yoga. That is what gives me happiness. Yes, not just you are very good in your singing or cooking. That is a given. That is fine. But Often we are forced to do things which number one, we don't like. Number two, we don't want to do. Number three, which we didn't expect. When all that comes on our plate, how do I do my karma? That is why the Gita, isn't it? Yes or no? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another personal experience.
Yes, Neha. Okay, you have gone MIA. Can't hear you. Sneha is not audible.
I never knew discussion of sixth chapter is going to be so
So
very interesting.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ji. Sneha, can you say hi? Because we can't hear you. Perhaps we can go to the next one and then come back to Sneha when she is audible again. Okay. Who is next? I think I have skipped one shloka, but that is fine because it's Yuktahara Viharasya. We have kind of, covered it. That's okay. So we have Ramamani and Sumaji. Who is going to go first?
Yeah.
Yes. Ram.
Hello, Purnima.
Yes.
So this 41 shloka.
Chant it first.
I will chant this shloka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please. Yes.
Yeah. Tapya punyakritam lokanushitva shashvati samaha shuchinam srimataham gehe yoga brashto vijayate. So the real meaning of the shloka, having attained to the words of the riches and having dealt there for everlasting years, he who had fallen from yoga is born again in the house of pure and the wealthy. That means this is exactly the answer to the Arjuna's question to Krishna. What exactly would be the destiny of a man who could not complete his pilgrimage in yoga? What happens to him then? For this, in this shloka, God, Krishna, gives an answer that those who have fallen from yoga will not go down. See, by their actions and performance with the motives like selfless actions, they, with the desires, after their death, they go to the place where they can enjoy their desires and again come back to earth, reborn again in the middle of a good people, and again they enjoy all those things. That's what Krishna says to Arjuna. So those who are employing themselves in the worship of Lord with desire for heavenly enjoyments will after their death reach those planes of conscious which are conducive for exhausting all such desires, and having exhausted these desires therein, they will take their birth again here in the world in the houses of pure and the prosperous. In short, all burning desires of every human will be fulfilled at one time or other if the desires are strong enough and are accompanied by intense activities appropriate for their fulfillment.
Yes.
So in this, I would like to add one more thing.
Yeah.
See, desires are of two types. Worldly desires to attain something like this. So those who do a good performance with good intentions and all, they really reach their height, cultural height, and after their death, because of their punya done, they will born again in a very good company, and they enjoy the things like satsanga and all.
Correct.
And another thing is, there are people who really pray God with some divinity to attain prapatti. That means moksha. They don't want to take birth again in this world.
Correct.
They want to go to the lotus feet of the God. Those people who really pray for their moksha, they don't want any worldly desires like thing.
Correct.
But it is really not practicable, because a human being, he has a lot of desires. At the same time, he is very devoted to God and all.
Hmm.
So he likes this way also and God's path also. For those people born again for some good deeds, like example Sudhamurti and all, they might have made a lot of good deeds in their previous birth.
Right.
So they are born for a Loka Kalyana.
Loka Kalyan. Correct.
Yeah. So that's what I understood by this
Very
shloka.
correct. Very correct. So that is why, because we have desires, because we are humans and we have desires, Bhagavan has given us. You do the Pancha Yagnas, Dharma, Artha,
Yeah.
Kama, Moksha. The Kama also has to be fulfilled with the basis of Dharma, with Dharma as the foundation. Ethical and moral desires are good, blessed by the Lord. Not a problem. Yeah, we should do the Pancha Yagnas. We can take that up later. It's a huge, lot of yagnas are. Suma, you want to share?
Yeah. So from my side, like what I understood from this shloka is basically like when you're on this the spiritual journey, it's not like a one-day task. And when you're on this path, like for some reason, like in this birth, you're not able to, fulfill like all your spiritual journey. And when you pass away, then like you go to the Krishna has the answer, like all of us, right? So we'll have this one question: what happens like if we are in the middle, and then like do we have to start over again in the next birth? Like Krishna is like, oh no, like you will start like where you left off. So you will be placed in a very good family, or you will have all the like needed necessities, like survival won't be a struggle. So you can focus on your spiritual journey, kind of. So I just, I would like to give this one example of myself, like basically, like I started this Bhagavad Gita thing during COVID time. I didn't know anything. I didn't understand the meaning, nothing basically. So one of my friends, she's like, hey, are you interested in learning the chanting of Bhagavad Gita? I told, sure, why not? So 1 year, like I was in that Bhagavad Gita class, just like, I just like to hear the shlokas and then just listening, and without understanding, I was just practicing. So I could chant it better. Like, so I went all the way till the 18th chapter trying to learn. Then that 1 year got over, and after that, there was no class, nothing. And it was just going on like every day, like I would just try to like recite one or the other shlokas. And then one day, Shweta, like who is in this class, very good friend of mine, she's like, oh, I'm attending this Bhagavad Gita class, and it's all about explanation, and everyone, provides their opinion and everything. And I'm like, hey, even I'm interested. Can you ask the teacher if I can join? And then she came back, oh yeah, sure. Like, she will add you and you can join. So my journey again, like started like now, like understanding the meanings of the shlokas and everything, like as Rahul was telling, and even the first person who told, like, you have assigned the shlokas. This shloka came to me somehow, like, and it made me like my own example of this. Like, it was really like felt blessed, like to be part of this class and then trying to understand. So I could just start the journey, like again, trying to understand all this meaning. Yeah. So
Here we are. We have all put in the application to Lord
Yes.
Krishna. Will you join me in the class? And he said, yes, tathastu.
Yes.
Welcome. So this is where, this is see, the whole thing is here on earth only. You can go to higher lokas, you can do whatever you want, but you come back to
Yes.
earth. Jina yaha, marna yaha, iske siva jana kaha. This is called Mrityu Loka. Here is where you die. This is also the Mukti Loka. From here only you have to get Mukti also. So that is what this Loka is saying. So beautiful. Thank you so much. I think we are in a good space, all of us here. And then we will, do we have time to continue? What do you all say? Shall we finish this exercise today?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, I can stay.
All right. Carry on then. This is yours. No, not this. Not this. Yarappa ivaga Jayashree. Are you here, Jayashree and Padmaja?
Yes. Can I chant?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yogyamapi sarvesham madgatenantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam sameyuktatamo mataha.
Good. Yes.
The meaning is, of all yogis, those whose minds are always absorbed in me and who engage in devotion to me with great faith, I consider them to be the highest of all. There are many kinds of yogas like Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and others. But Sri Krishna declares that Bhakti Yoga is the highest superior of other yogas. Devotion is the highest power where you can reach God and make him a slave. We can make him a slave of devotees. He says, I am devotees of devotees also I bless. So they conquer his heart. Bhakti Yoga possesses the power of divine love and it's most dear to God. So they take Bhakta Kumara for that matter. So he was such a big devotee of Vittala. As he's chanting Vittala Vittala Panduranga, he smashes on his own child, and when he doesn't, in that bhakti, he doesn't even realize he is killing his own baby, but he prays to the God and the God gets him back. And Sati Savitri, who prays to God with lot of bhakti and gets Satyavan back. Draupadi with bhakti or Arthanada calls out to Krishna, come and save me. So with bhakti, you call out to him, he comes and fulfills all your wishes. So that is my take on this.
Very beautifully said. Very beautifully.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Let Padmaja also say, and then we can add. Beautiful. Very appropriate example. Yes, Padmaja.
Jayashree has taken up the, has explained it beautifully.
Yes.
Before I start on this, I actually wanted to thank Rahul, Purnima and Nirmala for giving that 6.10 ka seclusion explanation. Actually, me finding space in oneself. Actually, for me, whenever I keep traveling, I travel a lot, with my son for his tournaments and for the other things. So I always find I need a place to sit somewhere away from the crowd and all that. So now where should I sit? Where should I sit? Everywhere I see people are there.
You have your terrace. You have your terrace always.
No, I'm saying when I go out stations and I have to sit in the stadium and all that kind of thing. So,
got it. Yeah.
All right. So I'll just explain 6.47. So in this, Sri Krishna declares the Bhakti Yoga to be the highest as he is bound to his devotee who has immense devotion towards him. So for Lord Sri Krishna, Bhakti is not something that needs to be displayed or showed. It is something that the devotee would always have in his heart and mind. He would walk the path suggested by the Lord. So that devotee should take yoga as sadhana. And that is why Sri Krishna would love such devotees. So how do we engage our minds in God, and how do we do it? So it says that can be done in different ways. So as Purnima has also said that, whatever you do, you've taken the example of singing. Someone is good at singing but is not involved. And the one who is singing but is involved in it, has a passion for it. Entirely two different qualities we see. So that is what it says, singing the Lord's name, or when you are making a prasada with devotion for, for Lord. For me, even attending this class, listening to this class, Purnima talking, all these are different ways that we engage our minds in God. So the bottom line is that one should do his duties without any attachment and expectation, and we should follow this Shravana, Manana, Nidhi, Dhyasa. So God is very kind.
then bhakti is the easiest way to reach him. So one small example I'll give. How do we engage? Let us say one is hungry and the food is in front of him. But the person who is hungry is still not eating the food and says, no, I'm not going to eat it. And just keeps starving. The time passes, he starves himself. Ultimately, he is harming himself by not eating the food that is in front of him. In the same way, if we are not involved in bhakti, it is like for the person who is hungry, the food is in front. God is always with us, in us. And we are not, absorbing or involved in devotion. It is like that, the state of that kind of thing. So that's what I want to say. So we have to, always do Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa and get absorbed in it.
Beautiful. Lovely. Correct. For the hungry fellow, it's offered and he doesn't take. What to do? Very true. Like I'm having my tea. It's been handed to me. I have to have it. No. Yes or no? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Then we have
Enjoy.
enjoy. Yes. Shweta or Nirmala? Shweta, go at it. Let us stab at it.
All right, sounds good. I think we got 632, right?
Yeah, I'm sharing it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Atma upameyena sarvatra samam pashyati yo Arjuna sukham ya yadi sukham va yadi va dukham sa yogi paramam mataha.
Dukham va yadva dukham sa yogi paramo mataha. This is not in the selected. We haven't done it. So it's very beautiful. So I said, let's do it.
Yeah. Actually, what Rahul was saying earlier, how he said everybody, not Rahul, I'm not sure who said that earlier. I have just joined. Everybody got a chapter based on what they're contemplating. So thank you for assigning this.
The very first person, Tara, she said that.
Tara.
Yes.
Okay. I joined late. So, so that's why I said, I remember Rahul was mentioning about someone.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
So anyways, the gist here is of the shloka, the literal meaning says, I regard them to be perfect yogis who see the true equality at all living beings and respond to the joys and sorrows of others as if they were their own.
Yes.
Like it seems like a pretty straight up explanation based on the translation what I read in some of the books and what is right here in front of us, right? But I started to think about it, and you said give like a classic example, right? I always considered myself to be pretty selfless kind of a person, but I didn't know how selfish I could be. If
True. Agreed. I mean,
it's all about perception and your growth and how big your mind is, how slowly your mind is growing or how small my mind used to be.
Yeah.
Is what I think I was trying to think about. And like I said, I'm very thankful for a lot of people who come in my life who've shown me different ways and to grow. And I'm also very thankful to my own children who I think after they came in my life kind of made me a little bit of a selfless person than I used to be. I think that's the first place where I learned what a sacrifice is, like getting up. I had twins. People who don't know me, I have twin boys. They're 8 now. Man, I did not sleep for 2 years. And I'm not somebody who would give up sleep or any of those comforts for anything. But when my children were born, I would not even complain. I didn't think I didn't think it could come easily to me because I didn't think I had any of those instincts to be a mother. But when that babies cried, I was up there 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, taking care of them, right?
Yeah.
So before motherhood was blessed, I kind of read this book. Sai Satcharitra is what I had read. And when I read that book, that's where it says how Baba kind of takes care of his bhaktas as a mother.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, really? How? I really didn't understand. The first time I read that book, I've read that a couple times now.
Right.
The first time it was like, it really meant nothing. I mean, it didn't make sense to me. And I didn't even know who Sai Baba was when I read that book the first time. I knew he was a guru. And my friend said, no, read it, like you'll like it. And I read it as a story, which is nice, right? It's given in a consumable way. My primitive brain just saw it as this guy called Baba who's there in this place called Shirdi, and how he comes and takes care of stuff. And some of the stuff when I read, I was like, really, how is this even possible? I mean, I don't know what I'm reading. And, I was very skeptical, very skeptical. And it didn't make much sense. But as I was going through life, and then the second time I read that book, I started to understand a little bit more. I've read that book at least 15, 20 times now. But every time I read, in such a simple and a beautiful way, they explain concepts. Now that I'm in these classes, and I think my primitive brain has grown a little bit more than where it was a few years ago, I think I understand the concepts more. And when they say, when Baba would treat his bhaktas as a mother, it kind of makes sense. To give you guys an example, I have this girl who, one of the examples, my own, when I become a mother, I kind of like knew how to sacrifice and be there for my children. But I cannot do the same for everybody's children. I'm not there yet.
Correct.
But I try my best to take that to, at my workplace too, right? Like, but the way I treat my employees now, like my direct reports or people I work with, is so different now than I did right before my kids were born.
Yeah.
I was very to the point. Hey, let's go. It's goals, this, that, right? Like that's how I used to roll. But now the human aspect has come in. I try to see their angle. I think my emotional intelligence has grown a little bit more. So I don't think I'm one of those yogis anywhere, but maybe I've come 1-2% from where I used to be. A huge thank you to my children. Actually, I think I learn a lot from them each day. I also get most mad with them, but I also learn a lot from them. I think patience and selflessness is where I started to learn from them. And I also started to appreciate my own mother, like, amazing woman. And she's also, like when we were younger too, right? She would treat all my cousins the same too. People, no matter who came, they were so well treated, and she would treat everybody the same. And sometimes I used to get jealous. I'm like, wait, the other parents don't treat me like this. Why are you treating them like this? I mean, I have literally had a conversation, an argument with my mother, and she would sit me down and say, no, this is how you're supposed to take care of everyone. Everybody is the same. For me, it doesn't matter you or this person, the other person.
How
But I said, you should feel more happy for me. You should be there for me more, is what I would fight with my mother. But now that I see it more, I'm so thankful that that's how she is. She's been, and she's continued to be that way. So I think at the end of the day, I think one of the stuff what I learned was equality of vision. Samadarshana is what it is.
Correct.
So slowly inching towards the Samadarshana, but I'm only at 1-2%, 3% into that Samadarshana.
No,
right?
far more. You're far more than that, Shweta. No need for effacement, right? Yeah, 90% there. Okay.
Thank you.
Beautiful. 3 cheers to mom, Pratibha.
Yeah, Pratibha. Bravo.
Yes,
Yeah.
3 cheers to her, 3 cheers to you. Yes.
Thank you.
Beautifully shared. Right?
Thank you.
Nirmala? So that the question was, okay, Krishna is talking about yogi. Who is a yogi after all? The one who sits somewhere in the Himalayas and you know what? No, right here, right now, Samadarshana, that is the yogi. That was why I chose this shloka, because we need the definition of who a yogi is. What is my goal? That's it. Nirmala ji, where are you?
Please put some nice tadka on my dal now.
Yeah. Just right when we need her, she's missing. Ayyo, Deva. Okay. You know what? I have my favorite shloka, which I would like to share. Because this is dedicated to my uncle. This was his favorite shloka, and it was always on his lips. And it is thanks to him that I am in the Bhagavad Gita. This shloka 6.30. Yomam pashyati sarvatra, sarvancha mai pashyati, tasyaham na pranashyami, sacha me na pranashyati. For those who see me everywhere and see all things in me, I am never lost to them, or I am never lost to them, nor are they ever lost to me. Yomam pashyati sarvatra, the one who sees me everywhere and sees all things in me. How beautiful is that? You know, this is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, right? See God everywhere, see the divinity in each and everything, in a rock, in a plant, in an animal, in humans, even in Hitler, even in Mother Teresa. See the divinity. How can I do that? How do I see the divinity in even in the worst criminal on earth? That is what I need to learn from Bhagavad Gita. That's what Krishna is trying to teach us. That is the essence of everyone is the same. I am the essence, I am the base material from which everything has sprung. In a Hitler, I might manifest myself as tamasic, right? And in Mother Teresa or whoever, I might manifest as a sattvic. But it's me all through and through. It's me only. There's nobody else. Right? And see everyone in me. They're all coming from me and they're all in me. Who is this me? It's not Krishna, standing there, blue color fellow with a crown and the peacock feather and a flute. No. Krishna means the consciousness, the awareness. Everything is in awareness, isn't it? Everything is in my awareness. It's not Krishna's awareness. It's in my awareness. It's in my consciousness. Each and every being on earth who is a sentient being, everything is appearing to me. It's all presented to my awareness, isn't it? That is the essence of the whole of the Gita. Seeing divinity everywhere and knowing that all this is in me, my consciousness, my awareness. That is what is the favorite shloka. And if this is my uncle, as I said, used to, whenever he used to see me, he would chant this shloka and say, do you understand, Putta? Do you understand? So, I mean, it stuck in my head, and thanks to him, this whole journey has begun with him. Really, this shloka and the Gita is dedicated to him. Yes. Nirmala, are you back? Kidhar gaya?
Purnima, is it Somsundar? Somsundar, your uncle?
Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
I have heard chanting the shloka.
Correct. Always used to chant.
Yeah. Okay.
Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvancha and he would say it with such passion. Tasyaham na pranashyami, sachame na pranashyati. I'm never lost to such a person. What is the meaning of I'm never lost to such a person who is always thinking of me? That means I will come to his rescue when he is needed. I will carry him myself. When my uncle passed away, I was 100% sure it was Lord Krishna who was there to receive him. Because he was so convinced.
So we're sure he's where he belongs to be. Thanks to him to have motivated you to do this for us. Thanks to both of you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I mean, it was such an overwhelming presence in my life. All right, somebody can say the closing prayer. Rahul, carry on.
Sahana bhavatu, sahano bhunaktu, sahavirjam karavavahe, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.